Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. Commissioner Martin,
Here.
Commissioner Brown, Commissioner Patrick,
Here.
Commissioner Bradley.
Here.
All right. And for the record, Deputy Chief Sean Richards is here. Deputy Clerk Kelly is here, present. Okay.
Okay.
Is there any chairman reports? Commissioner Bradley?
Well, we just want to reiterate the training that's upcoming, and hope everybody will be there and we all gain some valuable knowledge and have a good time while we're there. Also, a safe time. And other than that, we've been had some contact during the weeks since our last meeting we'll discuss some more later with the chiefs over at the fire department. So other than that, we really don't have anything.
Okay. Is there a fire report?
I can give a real quick one. I'm not going to take a lot of people's time tonight.
Okay.
Real quick, I'm just going to recap. As of right now, we're just approaching 1,600 calls for the year. We are on track to have one of the busiest years in the history of our department. We average about 5 to 8 calls a day. So we're doing good. We're digesting everything with the COVID stuff. Everything's going real good. Some of the big projects that we have working right now is we're just wrapping up the implementation of our new ambulance. Knock on wood, everything's been going great. The guys love it. It's been a huge hit for us. So that was a big project to get over with and get started and get implemented. The next one is the Station 2 renovation. We're currently working on getting the mold abated, the roof, and new windows. We did have some issues with that one as far as some contractors and as far as material lead time, but we're looking to actually get this project up and running and started in early December. So fingers crossed, hopefully the weather will help us out and we can get this going right before the new year. And then commissioners, I did put together some packets on some information I promised you last time. A lot of information there. I apologize I couldn't get it to you sooner. I just wanted to be as exact as I could on the information I gave you guys. So a lot there. I look forward to talking to you guys about it in the future. Give you guys some time, and I wish you guys the best of luck on your conference this weekend. And that should be it. I don't want to take up too much time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a report from the department?
No report.
Okay. Okay. I guess we can move on to new business, and if you don't have anything else from anybody. Any of the other commissioners had anything that they any subjects they wanted to bring up at that point?
Well, for new business, I'd like to thank both the fire and police department for their participation in the Halloween thing. The fire department had a truck out there and they made the little kids very happy, and some of the police came through. It was a very nice event with a whole bunch of kids that was out there, and everybody seemed pretty festive and happy. And I'd just like to thank them for their participation. Other than that, I don't have anything.
Thank you, Chairman. Commissioner.
Thank you. Okay. I did want to. It's not new business, like I said. We touched on it at the last meeting, and also I talked with the chiefs a couple of times since then. Because they want to get a few guys hired over at the fire department. So just to bring you guys up to snuff, we did discuss at the last meeting that they had a guy who was in the chute. He was ready to go. Everything had been done with him, all the way up to the background. And I don't know if any of you all took the time to go over and look at his file, but I did go over and look at his file. He does look good. The last leg of his journey that I would like to see done is I'd like for him to come before the board, so that if you guys have any questions or thoughts or anything, we'll be able to speak with him and cover those. So, Chief, just so you know, Chief, I would like for any new police officers or firefighters that are hired in the future with this board, that's the last thing I would like to see done, is for them to come before the board and for us to have the opportunity to have a shallow interview with them.
Okay.
Yeah. So did you guys have any comments on that, commissioners?
No, I didn't really have any comments on that.
Okay. Just want to make sure that's okay with everybody.
Chairman Bradley, I would like to see if we could have Jacelia check and make sure that that is allowed. I'm not 100% positive if it is or isn't. Is there something we can check to make sure that that's okay to do?
Yeah, we can certainly check on that. No, it's been my experiences in the, I did a lot of extensive work with the entity that was doing the hiring for Will County. And everybody went before the board, the commission, before they were hired.
Cool. No, I think it's a great idea. I just want to make sure we're okay to do that. That's all.
Yeah, okay, and I'll certainly check on that. And we'll get back to you, but as soon as we can, but we will check. I could probably check on it this weekend. Will be a good time to check on that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the other issue being that we got the list from the chief that he put together with the salaries and some other issues with the other fire departments in our area, things that we discussed at the last meeting. And did anybody else get a chance to look at that? Any of your other commissioners? Did you see that?
Yeah, I looked at it. Yeah, I looked at
Okay.
it.
Okay. I thought it was pretty interesting. One of the things that I did notice, Chief, is that out of the areas that were in there, Monique Creek and Richmond Park, I may be mistaken, but I didn't see them on there. And I know I don't expect you to get every department in the state, but it was just interesting to know because they're immediately close in our region right here. And how do they look in relation to our salaries and benefits? Monique, Creed, and Richmond Park.
Yeah, all those were not included because those are part-time departments. Yes, that's correct. They have no full-time employees.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. And they've always been like that?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Oh, I was really surprised. I'm really surprised about that with Richmond Park because they have such large buildings and complexes over there, like the one over by the train station and some of the others behind their police station. I mean, they got some pretty large complexes and some probably 6 or 7-story buildings over there, and they got part-time firemen. Wow.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
Okay. So my other question would be this: in a town like, just say for instance, Chicago Heights, is the buildings and the large complexes and the height of buildings and things like that, is that in any way relative or tied in with why those guys would be making more than I guys or anything like that? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, the biggest determination I see the biggest determination for salaries and stuff like that is just your tax base. Some municipalities will be heavy in industrial and manufacturing, and they're going to have like a Bedford Park. They have a resident population of about 300 people, but they have a huge industrial park. They'll at sometimes on an average day they could have 16 to 19 guys on duty a day, and their salaries are obviously much higher. So it's based on the need, and usually the need follows what actually has a tax base to support the need for the people. So
Okay.
if you're a straight residential, and that's your set tax base, that's what you usually try to divvy all that up between your police, your fire, your public works, and then it just lays out that way.
Okay.
I
Okay.
have a question. Now, how is that working out with those towns being part-time?
Okay,
How's that
well,
working out?
the part-time is a way as these towns developed, originally way back when the call volume was smaller and the towns were smaller, you could get away with a part-time department. Actually, before that, you came from volunteer. Guys came from home. As these areas develop and the people migrate here and the call volume increases, the need to have people there 24 hours a day just becomes so great that they have to find the tax revenue to justify it. What we're seeing in the trend now in the industry is part-time is not becoming an option, for the simple fact is we can't get the people to work part-time. People just have to have multiple jobs. It's just the incomes to survive today are just not going to be sustainable on a $14 or $13 an hour job. And we just don't have the people in the industry to fill these spots. So a lot of these part-time departments are really struggling to fill the spots. And what they're finding is as they raise their salaries or their hourly rates for part-timers, it gets to the point where they're just like us competing against other part-time departments. But as you get higher, you get closer to the point where it's just easier to get a guy in the door full-time, make him your dedicated employee, and not have to chase people to fill spots. It coincides with what I spoke about earlier last meeting, that the industry is just suffering, just like PD, just like anywhere else. We just can't get the people. And for a guy to come and work 12 hours or 24 hours part-time and do it for $12, $14 an hour, it just isn't worth people to do it. And there's only so many young kids coming out of these academies and these medic classes. There's just so many, and then everyone's trying to grab them because everyone's short. So this problem doesn't just affect the full-time departments. It doesn't, it hits everybody, part-time, full-time. And then a lot of guys, it's a part-time job. They can call off if there's no repercussions. Where once you have a full-time department, these guys pay their mortgages, they pay their child's tuitions. They focus on this is their full-time job. So you get that secured labor force that you don't get with a part-time department.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything? I wanted to ask you, Chief. Excuse me. Somebody have something?
No, if you guys are still discussing this subject, because I was going to say I need a motion on the table to proceed with the new hire. We'll give the new hire a start date, and to move forward with the hiring process of the two other candidates we had on the list.
Okay. Okay.
So I know that it was stated that we would check on seeing if you guys could do, I wouldn't really call it an interview, but a final review of this candidate.
Right.
So we need to check on that to make sure that we can do that. And maybe the question on the table should be, can you guys, since it's a new commission, can you guys have an overview of this candidate in person or something to that order? But we can check on that.
absolutely. Like, I think we'll be able to check on that in the next couple of days.
Yes.
And so we'll be getting an answer on that pretty quickly. So we should be getting an answer on that pretty quickly, and even check with the village attorneys and get their opinion also. But we can certainly, with that in mind, set a date like 2 weeks away if you want to, because we'll certainly have all the information by then. Because it's not like the list is going to expire before that or anything, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. So if we set a date, just say a couple of weeks from now, if you want to have something because things you need to do and everything, we could certainly do that. And if something comes up, negative or whatever like that, I mean, we can always cancel that. But in the meantime, you'll have that date, and we can move forward if that's what you're asking, if that works for you.
You're saying set the date for hire, or set the date for
hire. Let's set the date for hire for the fireman.
Mm-hmm.
For a couple of weeks from now, we should be through with our information, and if it's okay to just meet him and shake his hand, the board, we can if we got a couple of questions to ask him, we can certainly do that within that 2 weeks and have all that done, move forward with hiring them. And the other two that you're asking about, I had a couple of questions I wanted to ask the chief, before we move forward with that.
Okay.
One of the questions was, how many is a full complement of firefighters over there?
Right now, we currently have 15.
You said you have 15 right now?
That is correct, 15.
What I'm asking is, how many do you need to be all the way up to your your standards? You understand what I'm saying?
That would be right now, we are budgeted for 19 spots.
19. Okay.
That is correct. So we are short 4 people.
You're short 4 people.
That's
okay.
correct.
So these 3 would bring you up to 18, and you would have 1 more spot left.
And that would be, and that's when I would be petitioning the board to meet with cops and fire and start the informational process from them about getting a new list created.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So when we say start the process for the other 2, what has been done so far with the other 2?
Okay, all we're asking for the other 2 right now is just your guys' approval to do their backgrounds. And then at that point, they will have completed their poly, their psych, their physical, and we're requesting you guys to give us the approval to finish their background. And that would be their 4 parts to their processing.
Okay.
So if I could just get your permission to just put these 2 through the background, then we can give you guys a full packet for you guys to vote on whether we would like to hire these last 2 candidates. They'd be at the same spot that this candidate that we're talking about right now is in.
Okay. So you said you need, first of all, you need a motion for a hiring date for the first guy, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion that we give a hiring date for the first guy who's cleared all the cleared all the obstacles. He looks good, and that's we'll be waiting for after we clear this him coming before the board. But right now we want to move forward with a hiring date. I would say approximately 2 weeks from now. So I make that motion.
I need a second on the table.
I'll second, but I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you start people on the 1st and the 15th, or do they start any day?
What we try to do, commissioners, we try to coincide with the pay cycle. So this way,
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it makes it easier just for hours and for the payroll and everything like that.
So when is the next pay period begin?
That would be Monday the 15th.
Okay.
And then the next pay period after that would be November the 29th. So technically, if we wanted just not to have to race anything or rush anything, we could shoot for the 29th, which would give us ample time to notify the candidate, ask him to schedule a time to come see you guys. It might work for you guys. The 29th would be what I'd recommend, just so none of us have to race or do anything.
Well, I make a motion. I second the motion that's on the floor and have the start date as the 29th.
So I'm gonna do a roll call. Commissioner Martin,
Votes aye.
Commissioner Patrick,
Here.
Commissioner Bradley.
Both sides.
Okay, motion passed. To proceed to hire from two weeks from now. I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
The 29th, approximately. That's approximation for what, you do the payroll or you're pretty familiar with the payroll and everything. So whatever Jucelia, puts in there and everything, I'm sure to be appropriate for what we've discussed. Is that okay with everybody?
Excellent, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so the next question that we have about the proceeding on with the other two candidates, should we proceed with the hiring process? Should they move forward?
Yes, I'd like to, with the discussion that we've had in mind, I'd like to move forward and make a motion that we move forward with the background checks and the other pertinent things that we need to be done to move forward with the hiring of these two guys.
Second.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna do the roll call. Commissioner Martin,
Votes aye.
Commissioner Patrick,
Here.
Commissioner Bradley.
Both sides.
Okay, motion passed to proceed with the hiring process of the next two candidates. Okay.
I have a question now. The next two candidates, do they have a previous experience, or are they straight out of the academy, or?
The little I do know about the two, I know the one gentleman is currently employed part-time in Crestwood, and the other gentleman is full-time in Burbank.
Okay.
Burbank, that they I would think they pay pretty high because they have a heck of a big industrial area over there, I believe. So how do we stack up against the Burbank department over there?
It's a little bit smaller of a department than we are. They're real close to Bedford Park. They are in that general area.
Right.
I'm not 100% positive about their residential industrial makeup, but they're not a very big department.
Okay.
I'm taking a guess on this one. I do believe that gentleman did come from this area, and
Okay.
I don't know for sure if maybe that has some influence or not. I do know that I don't believe that they are full-time. I'm just not sure their union status also.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're an IAFF department or not.
But that's kind of what I'm wondering was why would he be leaving a department like that? So if he's from the area, some other things, you've answered some of the questions, but that's what's on my mind.
That's
I do know some of his past. I do know he did work in Peatone, I believe, at one point part-time there. So
Yeah.
I think that's where his ties for this area are from.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this also. Do we have a motion on the table? No, we voted on both motions, right?
We voted on the two motions that were on the table. So you guys are fine to discuss.
Thank you. So I was going to ask the chief, when does this list, the chief or you, just so you, whoever, when does this list expire?
This list expires December 1st of 2022, next year. But
Oh,
it is
okay.
it's completely exhausted at this point.
Oh, these are the last two guys then.
These are my last two. Yeah.
Okay. And we got a
So-
whole year.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's the dilemma that puts us in at this point. Even if I hire these three gentlemen and it all works out, I'm still short one with no list. So there is a couple other issues. I do have a gentleman who can retire at any time. So that's another person that could walk out the door and put us short again. I do have someone currently on sick leave right now. I don't know their status of returning. And then I do know potentially in a union negotiations that is going on right now, we could be hiring over the next 2 years, at least two more employees. So that could be a total of at least 5 from this next list. And that's why I'm kind of excited about working with you guys about accomplishing some of the things that you guys want in the next list and how we're going to go about doing that. So this next list, once this is exhausted, this next list is pretty important to us, especially in the next year or two future.
Okay. Okay. That's pretty much all I had, and I don't know if anybody else had anything for the good. I really don't have anything else.
Okay, I just wanted to go back to the seminar, the training that's going to happen
Oh,
on the 5th, 6th, and 7th. But I did want to let the commissioners know is that the modules are usually in sequence, but it seems like on Friday, module 2 comes first. So that will be the first module that you guys need to attend. And then on Saturday, module 1 is from 9:30 to 12. So it's kind of out of sequence, but that's the way they set up the program schedule this time. So you'll do module 2 on Friday, module 1, and then the general session.
So is
So-
module 3 and 4 part of the general session or no?
No. I'm sure, I'm thinking how the agenda is set up. Module 3 is probably doing the same time. So I'm sure they'll have different areas, different rooms for modules, both modules.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
yeah. So it looks like they'll have 3 and 4 like next year, or will we be able to go to that next year or whenever?
Right.
Right
So, yeah, this is the fall seminar. So there will be a spring seminar. So when the spring comes along, we'll get information on that. So then you'll be able to take the 3 and 4, however they offer it.
Right.
Sometimes you're able to get 3 modules in during that training. So it just depends on how it's set up.
Mhm.
Yes.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the training occurs in the month of May and the month of November every year.
Yes. I think you're right, Commissioner Martin.
What is actually going on Sunday?
Sunday, I think they have a meeting with directors and executive board members. So I'm sure they have their board that sits there. It doesn't really involve the commissioners. So that's probably just the day that, all the training will be over and you'll come home.
Okay.
Yes. So any other questions about the seminar?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No.
All right, Commissioner Bradley, we received no general public comments tonight.
Okay. Okay. All right. We don't have any general public comments. Do we have any comments from any of the chiefs or commissioners? Anyone else?
I have a question, but it's kind of pertaining to the police, not the fire.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was wondering, how are we looking as far as personnel with the police department? Are we down officers, and how many officers are we down when it comes down to the staffing of the police department?
We would definitely have to get that question over to Chief of Police, Chief Wilson, to get that update for you. So I'm pretty sure we can have that update for you at the next Fire and Police Commission meeting. Okay. And the next meeting is to be announced. Usually our regular Fire and Police Commission meetings are held on that first Thursday of each month. So you guys will get the agenda and everything like that.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to, thank everybody, for attending the meeting and taking their time out. Also, I thought the Halloween party for the children went real well. And, the fire department had the truck up there and everything. The kids kind of enjoyed that. And also, we were hopefully I'll see both of you guys at this conference. We can have a cup of coffee together while we're there, hopefully. So looking forward to that. And just encourage the party, keep up the good work. We appreciate it. So if anybody else doesn't have anything, then I'll motion for adjournment.
Second.
Okay. I'm going to do the roll call. Commissioner Martin,
Votes aye.
Commissioner Patrick,
Here.
Commissioner Bradley.
Yeah.
Okay, meeting adjourned. It's 8:14. All right.
Good evening.
All right.
Commissioners.